All right, welcome back to episode 136 of Two Drunk Brothers in a Podcast, presented by the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. It is officially October. If you've seen this on YouTube, you see the background. It's postseason time. We're going to talk a little bit of Major League Baseball for you, especially the postseason, obviously, because with that starting, it's going on right now. The Yankees are currently losing 3-0 to the Red Sox going into the fifth inning. So that one, barring some miracle, which baseball – miracles happen all the time, is all but over. And then the Cardinals will play the Dodgers tomorrow night. When you guys are hearing this, Wednesday, October 6th, in the National League playing game. So other than that, we're going to kick things off, talk about the week that was in week 5 or week 4 of the NFL, talk about some gambling stuff, and really kick this thing off. So with that being said, the weekend wasn't terrible. College, we ended up in the green on. NFL, we went 3-3 yesterday, or 3-3 on Sunday. 1-1 on Monday Night Football, so really can't complain there.
Yeah, didn't pay a whole lot of attention to college football on Saturday. So we just got, shit hammered all day long. And then Sunday we were riding our Sunday scaries to the NFL, and I did not really care a whole lot about those games either.
No, I literally tuned them out. Some just highlights, I think, where the Cardinals look really fucking good. Really good all around. That defensive line on the Cardinals is crazy, and Kyler Murray I think is getting better and better with every single game.
Yeah, I was not seeing that one coming.
No,
at all. Titans, fraud alert. They looked horrible, all around. Well, it'll be interesting to see how the Jets ride their win into the London game this weekend.
I'll just say, yeah, they got to play. They got to go travel across the pond and play in London. And I feel like they're always in those games. They always play in those games, so that they could have a leg up there. To be honest with you, I don't think Atlanta's really played over that much, but I feel like the Jets are always playing in London.
Yeah, to be honest with you, never give a shit about London games because I don't even know if I'm awake by the time they start.
Yeah, 8:30 kickoff here in the Central Time on Sunday mornings. That's pretty much guarantees you 14 plus hours of football. But yeah, I mean, like I said, gambling wise, you can see it on the screen right here. We're plus up 17 units over the last 30 days. Still staying in that green for you. The weekend was rough with not really rough. It was just kind of meh. We were literally just about even on everything that we did. So we didn't win money. We didn't lose money. It is what it is. But we have this new thing that Travis saw on TikTok we're going to try out this week. But before we dive into that and Degenerates Digest, you want to talk about Major League Baseball postseason and kind of do a little preview?
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about it. There's not really a whole lot to discuss because I feel like it's just kind of a toss-up in the postseason, really.
So that's why I put on the Patreon to put out a little audio clip of me talking about futures betting and kind of how we used this very similar strategy when it came to the NFL playoffs and betting on futures. And that was basically you pick a certain amount of people that are in the field. So for baseball, there's 10 teams make the playoffs. So for what I did put on the Patreon is I picked and put futures out on 40% of the field. So I picked 4 teams. I'm like, you know what? They have a shot to win the postseason or to win the World Series, and put futures out on them, and basically a unit on each. And if any of those people win, I'm in the green. So that's kind of my strategy with it, with betting out on futures for that. Is I'll tell you guys right now, the highest odds team I did was the Giants at plus 425. So
I thought you did the Cardinals.
No, I meant the lowest odds. Yeah. I did the Cardinals as well. They're plus 1,400. I meant the lowest, the lowest payout would have been the Giants at plus 425. So
gotcha.
That's kind of what I did.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did not do any of the futures just because I don't know. I feel like this baseball postseason is going to be just a bunch of wildness, and probably some obscure team will win it all.
Like the Cardinals.
Probably not going to happen.
But what's your hot take? Do you have any hot takes? Do you think there's something that might happen, crazy off the wall that'll happen in postseason?
No. I honestly don't, because I've watched all these teams over the last few months, and they can all be really good, and they can all be absolutely fucking horrendous. So I have no idea what's going to happen.
My hot take is the winner of the NL wildcard game between the Dodgers and the Cardinals. The winner of that, no matter who it is going to go to the World Series.
I don't know. Sound biased, but I can see the Cardinals happen. I honestly don't think the Dodgers are all that good. I think their offense is very lackluster, and they rely on their pitching a lot. So they're gonna go up against
the Giants.
Yes, they can go to the Giants, and I can see. All right, hot take. I see the Giants being the easiest team in the NL to get by. Yes, they did win 107 games, but just something about that team where it just does not feel as strong. Like, I'm still riding what we said in preseason, where that team just doesn't seem like it's strong enough to be where they are.
So that's my thing too, is like, the best teams never seem to win it when it comes to baseball, to the MLB postseason. I mean, it's always the teams that are coming in hot. I think you have 3 teams that have won 7 of their last 10 in the American League. And then you have the Cardinals who have won 8 of their last 10 or something like that. And then, I mean, so there's a lot of teams that are coming in hot. So there's also teams that are coming super cold, like the Astros. I am high on them losing their first round series to the White Sox. They've lost 6 of their last 10, and the White Sox are plus, if you want to, because you can bet on like series winners. The White Sox are plus 115 to beat the Astros in that first round divisional matchup.
I can see that game. I would bet on the over on that series. I'm not sure what the odds are, but I would bet on that game, that series going 5.
Yeah, I could see that too. It's just like, yeah. So I'm trying to find the over on like series on DraftKings, but I'm not seeing like where that would be at. But I don't hate that at all. I could definitely see that. Also, honestly, I could see the Brewers losing to the Braves too. I definitely think.
I was about to say I have the Braves Rays in the World Series.
Braves Rays. Okay. I have either the winner. I have the Rays in mine as well. I know. I just said the best team never goes. I think the Rays are probably the most complete team when you look at it on paper from the American League. I have whoever wins the Cardinals Dodgers game playing the Rays in the World Series. I think that's kind of how I envision it happening.
It's funny. I did the thing too. Like, I was just doing this on a whim. MLB tweeted out like a little fast forward thing, like where you screenshot the World Series matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like 3 earlier when I was driving and didn't even get to look at them. And the first one I did was the Rays and
Braves. There you go.
Wild. So there it is.
Yeah, so I could definitely see the Braves upsetting the Brewers in the first round. Like Brewers, another team I think that kind of limped in the playoffs. Where they also
especially one of their relievers broke his hand because he's an idiot.
Fucking moron. Fucking idiot. So I mean, if you want to take a look at some of those, like I said, dabble in some futures. Take a look at the futures and see if they're worth the squeeze, especially if you sprinkle some here or there. Spread your wealth. You obviously can't. I think the max you can probably put out futures to win the World Series on is probably 4 teams. If you do 5, you're basically banking on one of the higher value teams to win. So, like I said, I did 4, and if any of those 4 win it, I'm gonna win some money. So,
there you go. If you like doing futures, take Jared's advice. But I am gonna stay away because I'm probably gonna get killed already to start the week.
Yeah, we were on Yankees money line, and they're getting killed. And I didn't like Garrett Cole's over to begin with, but I mean, I wrote it just because I've been riding your K props and they've been hot.
Well, we liked his under to begin with, and then they dropped it, and then I didn't like. I don't know. Should just stayed away from it, but hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, that's how it always is in gambling. Kind of the same thing last night. Like, we only had 2 plays on Monday Night Football for the Patreon. It was Chargers. We did Chargers money line. Should have done the spread, but fuck it. We did Chargers money line and ended up hitting. And then we did Derek Carr's over and passing attempts. And looking back on it at the end of the game, I was like, man, I should have just stayed away from Derek Carr's passing attempts. But that's always the end thing. I mean, he was like, 3 passing attempts short, and they had a terrible first half.
Yeah, and then they had an attempt at which normally would be garbage time yards at the end of the game, and they went 4 and out. So
yeah, exactly. They should have just dinked and dunked down the field. So, which kind of brings us to, we didn't have really a lot scripted for this episode. We were busy over the weekend, had a couple busy days playing catch up from Travis's wedding weekend. So, we just kind of want to get on here, shoot the shit a little bit, but definitely wanted to dive into Degenerates Digest this week and go with a different approach to it. We're still going to talk about the primetime games. You can see it rolling across the ticker if you're watching on YouTube. But Travis, I'll let you lead into this one and explain kind of what you saw on TikTok and kind of what it's all about.
Yeah, so I saw his TikTok. Essentially, this guy was like, put your games in confidence order of how you're going to bet them over the weekend. And he was like, take your Evaldi's K-prop hit. Nice.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Take your confidence ranked 6 through 10 games. So not your first 5 that you really like, but your 6 through 10, the ones that you like if you're going to bet full board on a full Sunday slate. Take those 6 through 10 games that you have and bet the opposite of what you pick, which I kind of like the idea of.
Yeah, because I think especially like my top 5, well, even 5, I was like, man, I don't love it. But my top 4, I'm like, oh, I love these picks. Like my NFL picks, my top 4, I love them. I only ranked 11 games because there's some games I hate that I'm saying.
I had a tough time finding 10. And I had a tough time sorting out the first 5. I had to kick 6 and 7 into my back burner. But 6 through 10, we're going to bet the opposite on. And I'm rolling my first one.
Okay, you don't want to roll through our top 5. So my top 5.
No, we don't want to give away all of our picks.
No, we don't. So it's rolling to your number 6, your 6th ranked game that you have against the spread. So guys, again, we're looking at the board. We're ranking all of our favorite picks against the spread, not over unders, just against the spread, 1 through 10, and we're going 6 through 10 and picking the opposite of what our gut says. So kind of going against
how we do on it. We're not necessarily going to put these picks out for units, but we're gonna try maybe next week, but we'll see how we do this week.
Well, I said we test the theory this week. DM this dude on TikTok. Be like, yo, we're gonna test your theory on the pod this week, and then we're gonna see how it performs. If it performs well, we want you on the pod next week to explain why this works.
Not a bad theory. My number 6 ranked game is the one that I like is Bucks -10.
It's actually 9.5 now.
On ESPN, I'm going with what I see it there.
Yeah.
So, and they take all theirs from, I think, Caesars. But either way, it's Bucks -10. I like it. Dolphins are garbage right now. Can't figure out their offense. So we're going flip-flop. We're taking Dolphins +10, which honestly I can see as a huge trap game for a lot of bettors.
I can too. I was going to say like Dolphins +10 there. Jacoby played terrible last weekend after having a pretty good game against the Raiders. I saw some stuff on Twitter today because obviously I follow Dolphins Twitter. But dude, he missed so many open looks on Sunday that he should have gotten. I mean, so many.
He was bad.
Yeah, it was terrible. So I don't hate that pick at all. That was one of the games I wrote as hate. Just stay away from because I don't want to fucking bet on the Dolphins and also root for them and watch them get their shit kicked in. But I don't mind that pick at all. My number 6 ranked game that I have on the weekend that I liked initially looking at the board, I was like, man, I love Houston +9.5 against the Patriots. I just felt like that's a lot of points. So I'm going to go the opposite side and I'm going to go the Patriots -9.5 against the Texans. The Texans really haven't looked good without Tyrod Taylor. So
Davis Mills, not it. He threw 4 picks on Sunday. They didn't even put up a point against the Bills.
And that's what I'm saying. And the Pats defense didn't look bad against the Bucks. So they were putting pressure on Tom Brady. They put that same pressure on Davis Mills. It's lights out. So this is a game that I would just be like, normally I would see that number. Oh, the Houston's got this in the bag. Pats are 1-3, but the Pats are a pretty good 1-3, I think. So I'm taking them -9.5. That's my pick.
All right. Don't mind that one at all. My number 6, right?
7. That was number 6.
Yeah, you're right. I got it mixed up. My number 7 pick is Steelers -1.
Dude, that's mine too.
At home, the Broncos offense finally not really clicking. Bridgewater wasn't doing good before he got his concussion protocol. Do we really think that the Steelers are going to start out 1-4? No, but we're going to flip it. We're going Broncos +1.
Yeah, that's mine too.
That's opposite of what we did.
Yeah, that's my 7th game too. I kind of the same thought. Like, man, there's no way the Steelers start out because like basically this spread, you're basically picking Broncos money line.
Yeah,
because like your best hope if they lose by 1 and you get a push. So that was mine. I was like, man, I like Steelers -1. That was my 7th ranked game. It's not a game I loved. It was like a mid-tier game. But I could see a Drew Lock. Drew Lock's going to play. Drew Lock's going to start. And I could see kind of a Drew Lock coming out party. And yeah, we'll see.
So let's hope. So that was your number 7. My number 8 game is, and I'm surprised I had it this low, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't put it in my top 5. Is the Packers -3 at the Bengals.
I don't like your opposite pick here. That's my favorite play of the week.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Bengals are not that great.
I know they're not
super inflated.
But it wasn't one of my top 5 picks, so I had to have it in my second 5. Because I like 5 games better than this. So maybe one you can stay away from. I probably will stay away from it. But if the Bengals do end up covering, it's another one of those where you should bet the opposite of it.
See, I am just going to assume if I had to pick my lock and my upset of the week this week are both college games because we're still going to do that for you guys. If I had to pick,
this is just fun. We'll still do everything.
Yeah.
Like.
If I had to pick an NFL lock, it would be the Packers -3 this week. And I was, so that's tricky.
It is tricky. That's why I didn't like it, but I had it on. I just had to put it out there.
My number 8 ranked game is also a 3-point spread. It's that early London game. And I was like, man, I like Falcons -3. So flip the coin, Jets +3. And
I was going to bet Jets +3 anyway.
Okay. Well, Jets +3, like everything in my bones tells me to take the Falcons here because the Jets are coming off a big win against the Titans. They're not that great of a team. But then on the top of the show, we were talking about how the Jets are used to playing in London. They go over there all the time. Like maybe this is a game where the Falcons falter and drop. I mean, they haven't looked great this year.
That long flight's going to take a toll on Matt Ryan's old ass body.
Yeah, fucking might as well be carrying a bag of bones when he gets off that damn plane.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I don't mind that one at all. Don't mind it. So what we got? 9 and 10?
9 and 10.
Oh, boy. My 9th ranked game I had as the Lions +7.5.
That's mine. It's actually 7 now, but yeah, 7.5. That was mine too. I like the Lions to cover, and now the more I think about it, maybe Vikings -7 isn't that bad of a play because the Vikings have looked pretty good, honestly. Their record is not indicative of how good of a team they are.
Yeah, I mean they lost to the Cardinals by missing a last-second field goal. They lost to the Bengals in overtime,
which that's not a bad loss right now.
It's not a bad loss right now. And they just lost to the Browns by 7, scored on their opening drive and never scored again.
The Vikings had every chance to win that game. The Browns are lucky they didn't lose that game.
Yeah. So they have been in some close games. In the game they won, they kind of beat the shit out of Seattle.
Yeah. So this could be a game like the Lions, I think, have played above their expectations and above.
I mean, we saw the Lions last week.
Yeah.
The Lions.
Who'd they play again? I forgot.
They played the Bears and they lost by 10.
Yeah.
But I want to say the Lions had like 3 drives where they got in the red zone and came away with 0 points. But that's the Lions for you. I think the Vikings defense isn't that bad. So we'll see. Yeah,
that was my 9th game too. Is I had Lions +7 is because I had put the Lions on the Patreon last week at +3. That didn't hit, so I'm like, fuck it, they gotta do it again. But now this is telling me No, screw that. Take the Vikings -7. Take the opposite side of it. So,
all right. There you go. And then my 10th ranked game is the Cowboys -7.
that's my 11th ranked game. I was having a tough time between my 10th and 11th right now.
It's that, and I don't like the flip side because the Cowboys look so damn good right now.
Yeah.
But then again, this is another game where it could trap a lot of bettors. It's just a 7. It's just a touchdown. Cowboys are looking good. Cowboys at home, but then
The Giants did not look bad
game.
last week. Yeah, I'll say the division game they always play close. And the Giants really didn't look bad last week. Saquon finally got going.
They beat the freaking Saints.
Yeah.
In overtime. So it's not a bad loss or bad win. And then they lost to the Falcons by 3. They lost to the football team by 1. And they just had a really bad opening game versus the Broncos. But outside of that, I mean, playing division game in Jerry World could be a 7-point game.
Yeah, absolutely. I had that as my 11th ranked game. I had a tough time deciding between this and my 10th, but I'm going to go with my 10th because I want to give people some different stuff. My 10th ranked game was Raiders -5.5. They're playing the Bears. So the opposite side of that's Bears +5.5. And I don't honestly, though, I was like, the more I think this makes you think about your gut reactions because the more I look at it, like, why was I on Raiders -5.5? They just got their asses kicked by the Chargers last night. And the Bears, Justin Fields honestly looked good on Sunday. Granted, like you said, he played the Lions, but maybe that was the boost of confidence he needed to get this thing rolling.
But
I know.
Apparently Matt Nagy gave up play calling. So letting Justin Fields air it up a little bit more. That's why they won last week. So there you go.
Yeah, and the 5.5 is weird too. Like I don't like favorites at 5.5. So the more I look at this, I like the Bears +5.5 a lot more. So,
and you're not home at Vegas, so
yeah, and it's interesting too. Like this strategy, I'm definitely going to play all my 5 through 10 plays.
I'll play them all, and watch, this is going to be one of the ones that hits. I'll play them all but the Bengals, just because I didn't love that one, especially if it's your lock. I won't play that one.
Yeah, I mean, this Green Bay's looked good ever since week 1, so
they really have. But then again, it's that road 3-point favorite.
Yeah, it is that road 3-point that slim margin. I have another slim road favorite that I think you should avoid at all costs this weekend, and I'm actually betting the other side of it. Just give you a little nugget, is the Saints -2.5 at the football team. I would bet Washington on that one.
Saints, though, on the road, as road favorites are 2-0 this year against the spread.
Okay, well, there you go.
The only two that they've lost, the only two against the spread that they've lost have not been road favorites. So
we shall see. But that was a little interesting. So that's why this episode is titled Fading Your Own Picks. It's not really fading our own picks. We just ranked our picks. It is. We're fading our middle tier because there are how many NFL games per week? 16 NFL games because there's no bye weeks this week. So there's 16 NFL games. We ranked, if you rank them 1 through 16, you basically take your middle tier picks, your 6 or 10 picks, and fade against those. I only ranked up to 11. The rest of the card I didn't even talk about. I hate. I
only ranked to 10.
Yeah, I ranked to 11. But with that being said, we'll go through the normal Degenerates Digest. Thursday Night Football this week should be a good one. It's the Rams with the Seahawks. Rams -2.5. The over/under is 55. Tough game to pick here, I think. I honestly do. I think the Rams kind of got exposed against the Cardinals last weekend.
Yeah, it is tough. But then again, I think that's going to be on the back of a lot of people's minds. I don't think the Seahawks are that great. We've seen time in, time out how bad their defense is and how much they can let up a lead. They could get up 14 points in this game and it's not over. I'm going to go with the Rams minus, what is it, 2.5?
2.5, yeah.
2.5, and it's only gotten bigger. I'm going to go Rams -2.5. I don't think they lose back-to-back games.
They don't necessarily have to lose back-to-back games to not cover here.
That is true. That's true. But I say anything under 3, I usually think of as money line. So I'm going to go Rams -2.5.
And my gut was initially leaning to Seattle plus 2.5, but the more I look at this, I love the over at 55 here. I think points are going to be scored at a premium. Like you said, Travis said, Seattle can't stop a damn thing. Darrell Henderson will be coming back this week after that injury. He came back last week, and he kind of was decent, but I think his second full week back, he'll be more solid. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods finally had a coming out party last weekend, finally caught a touchdown pass. So
Van Jefferson did too. Jesus.
Yeah, I just think that this is going to be a classic. This will be a fun Thursday night game, a classic NFC West showdown in Seattle. Now the weather let's circle back to this on Thursday afternoon and check the weather because weather in Seattle can be temperamental. If it's raining, I'm probably laying off this game altogether. But as of right now, I like the over of 55.
If it's raining, I'll definitely hammer more on the Rams because DK Metcalf can't catch anything. And the only person who'll have to throw to is Tyler Lockett. So I like the Rams. I think that they will come out firing on all cylinders after their loss.
And you can't tease this because it's crossing the 0 threshold with the Rams.
Yep, no teasing it. If anything, you can tease it with the Seahawks. I do think it's going to come down to a last. Whoever has the ball last is going to win.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like kind of like a dumb thing to quote unquote like make a hot take on, but I definitely don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
So takes into Sunday night football. Sunday football also a lot of great primetime matchups.
One of my locks.
Yep, I love this one. Kansas City at Buffalo at Kansas City. Kansas City right now, depending on where you look at, it's 2.5, 3. Kansas City's a favorite. The over under 56.5. It's got to be Buffalo.
Buffalo money line.
Buffalo money line. What is the odds on that right now?
They are plus 125.
Plus 125 on DraftKings. So Buffalo money line. I don't hate that pick. I definitely like them plus 2.5. If you can buy a half and go to plus 3, I love that even more. That's my second favorite play of the week when we rank these.
Yeah, I mean they look incredible right now. Like I know it's Houston, but they put them up 40-0 on them. They spanked Washington. They 35-0 against Miami. Their only real bad game, obviously, which is a real head scratcher looking back on it, was that Pittsburgh loss week 1. But
week one, anything can happen though. I mean, it's just
on the flip side. You look at it. The Chiefs are allowing 453 yards a game, 31 points per game to Buffalo's 11. I just think this game is going to come down to who can get more stops. I mean, again, sounds pretty cliche, but it's going to be the Bills.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The Bills look like the most complete team in the AFC right now, if you ask me. They're number 1 on the ESPN power rankings. I know that doesn't hold much weight, but they are for a reason. They've impressed a lot of people. I think you can put a stamp on it, Two Drunk Brothers approval. Buffalo plus 2.5, plus 3, whatever you can get it at, and Buffalo money line. That will be on our Patreon this week as well. But
this would definitely be one that you tease to put in a teaser.
Buffalo in the over. Yeah.
Or just straight up, if you're wanting to do multiple teams, Buffalo would be one of them.
Yeah. No, this would be like I feel like the last few primetime games, like for me, like, okay, before we move on to Monday Night Football, I want to ask you this. Like, and I may sound like you can call me a bitch, whatever. Do you feel exhausted after watching a full day of football and like sometimes you can't get into the Sunday night game?
Yeah. I do, which has been the case a lot of times this year.
Yeah.
I come Sunday Night Football, I'm just like, man, I just want to watch something else.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather hey, what's on Netflix or something? I felt weird that I felt that way because we waited for
I don't think I have watched a full Sunday night game yet. I mean, I've just been like, man, I just want to watch a movie or something. I'll keep track of it on my phone. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to sit there and watch.
Yeah, and I think it's super close, but let's look at the Sunday night games we've had this year. I mean, have they honestly been even amazing? This past week it was Bucks and Pats. That stunk, to be honest with you, until the very last 5 minutes.
I watched the opening, Brady in there.
Packers Niners was good.
Yeah, it was good, but yeah, I guess it wasn't really good though till the end. Packers let them back in it.
Ravens Chiefs was week 2. I did watch that one. Well, then there's the Rams Bears. Week 1 stunk, but ever since then they've been good. But even like you said, even like the Pats and Bucks this past week, it was kind of shitty until like it was like 7-6 going into the fourth quarter, wasn't it?
They're all boring, and it's like I just find myself sit there on Sunday just scrolling on my phone more than watching the game.
Like you mean like Sunday night?
Yeah, like I'm sitting there like on the couch, like we're just laying there on the couch. Football's on, but neither me or Ashley are watching the game.
Yeah, like during the day, like because I have both TVs going, like I'm really into that. Like my phone's put away. I'm like, if nothing's going on TVA, I'm watching TVB. Like, but then like there's also that lull in between the late afternoon games and like that weird hour, maybe hour 15-minute period where there's no football on. So I feel like you either get up to go do something else, and then by the time you come back, your mind's somewhere else. I just thought that was weird. But I will be tuned in for this Sunday night game. Buffalo and Kansas City is going to be a hell of a game.
We say that.
It will be. I promise you. This might be the game of the year thus far. It might be an AFC title game preview.
No chance. No chance Chiefs are making it that far.
Oh, wow.
There's my hot take. Monday Night Football, though. This one's going to suck ass.
Stinky. See you later, Stinky.
Not watching this. Hope there's MLB playoffs on because I'm not watching this. Colts at Ravens.
This is what I'm doing right here.
Under.
I don't like the Ravens -6.5, -7, wherever it's at, depending on what book you bet. Not my favorite pick. Because the Colts, I mean, yeah, they played Miami last week, but they didn't look terrible. Their defense is good, and the Ravens have struggled at times this year to move the ball. And I just feel like I think both these offenses are going to start super slow and have a hard time getting going.
Yeah, I hate doing prop bets this far out, but on a game like this, I almost have to. I'm just going to put out there if it's under 80. I like Lamar Jackson's rushing yards over. That'd be my pick.
Okay. Also might take a peek at Darius Leonard's tackle prop too in this one. Might
not be a bad one.
Just a mammoth, yeah.
I'm sure it'll be like 9.5 or 10.
Yeah, it's probably some stupid high. But I like the under in this Monday night game between the Colts and the Ravens. I think this will be another snoozer. Monday night game last night was fun to watch just because it's fun to watch Herbert and Carr go at it. But that is our primetime picks for this week, and which is going to lead us into our lock and our upset. And both my lock and my upset are college picks. I'll throw another college pick out there for you guys. But my personal college picks, I showed Travis this last night, have been pretty gas. So take that with what you will.
All right. Are you rolling into it? Do you want to do yours first?
I'll do my lock. My lock is going to be Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners.
Plus 3.5.
Plus 3.5 at Western Kentucky. I also like
they're one of my picks. They're one of my picks, but they're not one of my locks. So
that is my lock. The Roadrunners. I'm not going to do a 5-unit lock like I did last week with Arkansas.
Yeah, Jesus, killed us.
Fucking Christ, dude. We still ended up in the green, and we lost a 5-unit and a 3-unit play. So that just tells you like we're getting the games right.
Play.
I can't think off the top of my head, but I tracked it. Like, so we lost 8 units on 2 games. So we're getting that we're still in the green. So we're getting the games right on college. It's just we're putting the wrong units on the wrong place. So this one though, I do like. It's my 3-unit lock. It's Texas San Antonio plus 3.5 against Western Kentucky. I mean, the Roadrunners are 5-0. Western Kentucky's 1-3. There's just something just is weird there. And I also like a money line too, a little bit on that. But
Western Kentucky has played some good games. I saw that when I was looking at it. They played some good teams, but UTSA, I mean, they just look good. You can't deny a 5-0 team. No,
can't. So that's my lock. So the lock is plus 3.5, but I'm also going to dabble a little bit money line as well.
All right, don't mind it. Talking about not denying a 5-0 team is my lock. BYU -5.
Love that.
5-0, number 10 ranked team in the country. And you would think like, oh, number 10 ranked team in the country playing a 2-3 Boise State team. They must be on the road. No, they're at home. This is a head scratcher. Seems easy. Take advantage of it. -5, 5.5. I would even go up to 6.5.
I would say I would go up to 6.5 or 7 on this one. BYU's on my sheet too. Love this game, and I will say this: I started the BYU hype train this year because I had them in like week 1 or week 2, and I didn't think they'd get up to number 10 in the country, but here they are. I mean, they're playing some damn good football.
Yeah, I mean they have wins. I mean they beat Arizona at the beginning of the year, which I think they were underdogs in.
Mm-hmm.
Then they beat a ranked Utah team, a ranked Arizona State team, and then UC or USF and Utah State. So, I mean, yes, they're not demolishing teams, but they're getting wins. So I think that's what they're going to do again this weekend. It might be a close one to grind out, but I like the win.
I like it too. Love that. So BYU -5, Travis lock of the week, history unit lock. My upset of the week, Memphis money line at Tulsa. I will continue fading Tulsa until the cows come home. Houston was on my sheet last week as money line, and I had them +3.5, what it was, and money line, and they rolled them. Why is Tulsa continue to be favored?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like eventually they got to win, right?
But they're what, like 1-4, 1-5? Like they're terrible.
Yeah, they're not good. I saw that. That's also one of my picks. I like a lot of college football this weekend.
I have like 8 like solid games. I'm like, I love all these. And like some of them are like dogs and money line. Obviously, Memphis is my money line upset of the week. They're +150. I also like them +3.5 as well at a couple units on that. A lot, like you said, I like a lot of college football. Do you like what's your I'll give you your upset and I'll throw out one more of mine and see if you have it on yours as well.
My upset's tough. I don't love it, but I'm going Wyoming +190 at Air Force. Wyoming's 4-0. Air Force is 4-1. I don't know. I bet Wyoming huge when they played UConn and almost lost. They had a whole week off in between that UConn game and this Air Force game. I just feel like, it's not really like a whole lot of intimidation going to play. In Air Force, Wyoming, better team, get better players, get better prospects, +190. I can't pass up on it.
That could even be like a half unit, like upset of the week too. Like you don't have to lay a full unit on that. Like,
I don't love it. It's like your minimum bet. I would lay it on there +190.
Yeah, because you could do like a half unit, and if that wins, you almost net a full unit there. So, yeah, I don't mind that play at all. +190 Wyoming at Air Force, and again, everyone, like I know when you think of like military academies, they're on the East Coast. Remember, Air Force is in Colorado. That's not that far of a trip for Wyoming. I mean, it's not like they're traveling across the country. So,
yeah, no, not at all. So they're also used to playing high elevation.
Yep.
So not anything crazy there.
Another one I like.
Air Force hasn't impressed me a lot.
Another one I like a lot, and I'm sure you'll like this too, Travis, is Michigan -3.5 at Nebraska.
Oh my gosh, love that one. Love Iowa -2.
Yep,
that's going to be a hell of a game.
It is. Iowa and Penn State's going to be a hell of a game too. Stanford +11 on Friday night. A little Friday night football for you against.
You know what we should put out a pick on.
What
is the toilet bowl? It's UConn at UMass.
I saw that. I wanted to pick UMass. UMass is dogs. I want to pick UMass money line.
0-6 at 0-5, and UConn is 3.5 point favorites.
And it's at UMass, right?
It is at UMass, but dude,
yeah, fuck it.
Bad.
Give me UMass straight up.
Both teams average exactly 270 yards a game. UMass lets up 518. UConn lets up 459.
I definitely like UMass to cover in that one, to be honest with you.
It's tough. UConn almost just beat Vandy. UConn's coming off of a 2-point loss to Wyoming and a 2-point loss to Vandy.
So you're thinking they're starting, because remember we bet UConn as dogs week 0, and they disappointed the shit out of us. But like you said, they hadn't played football in like almost 2 years. So maybe they're starting to figure it out.
Yeah, they're coming off 2 solid losses. I know it sounds crazy to say 2 solid losses against, respectable teams.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
We should just bet it.
Yeah. Throw
I'm doing UConn minus 3.5.
Throw the
They only
change
let
in
up-
your pocket on UConn.
They scored 2 more points a game and let up 8
What's the
less.
under? What's the under in that game?
55.5. But who knows what the offenses can do with this bad of defense.
Yeah. We threw a lot more at you this week, I feel like, than we normally do. We gave you like all these 6 through 10 matches in the NFL. We basically gave away our whole fucking Patreon for the weekend. Because there's only a couple more college picks on here that I have that I'll throw on the Patreon.
I have a handful.
I have ones I didn't give out tonight were 1, 2, 3 picks.
I think I have 5.
Yeah, we'll do good though. College is picking it up. We're in the green last week, so yeah. So make sure you check those picks out. Check out the baseball guys. We're up 70 units in baseball in the year, so there's only a handful of games left. We're not going to force. We learned our lesson tonight in this wild card game. We forced 4 plays in one game, and it's going to go 1-3 probably. So we won't do that at every game. Cardinals plus 190 is to play tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's
or tonight when you hear it.
Yeah, just one play tomorrow.
I also
catch back up after tonight.
What will be Scherzer's under on Ks? Do you think
under? Probably 7.5.
Give me it.
I don't know. He struck us out 13 times last time he played us. I was there. It was awful.
That was before we got hot, though.
It was before we got hot, but 13 times is no fluke.
This is true. He's won 2 Cy Youngs, right? Scherzer has.
I don't know. He has 2 different color dyes. That's all I know. Maybe just take the under tomorrow.
Yeah, between Scherzer and Waino. Yeah, that could be it too.
Probably end up scoring 12 runs, so don't want to do that. Just gonna take the Cardinals.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep this episode a little shorter. We will have more in-depth stuff for you guys next week. We got hockey coming up. We got basketball coming up. Got a UFC card coming up at the end of the month. That's a day card, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. Day before Halloween. It's a day card. Jan Blachowicz, whatever. We'll talk about that then. But we got a loaded October coming up, and hopefully we're going to try to line up a few guests here and there and get some new people on the show. But that's going to do it for episode 136. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. And other than that, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.